Hey guys, I'm right on the highway, as you can see. I rode the motorbike here. I'm at the lease. We're gonna get back a little further. I'm gonna try to go back about a half a mile, but I've got an encounter story to share with you guys today. And it's fascinating. You know, all these encounters, every one of them's fascinating, but then again, they're a nightmare. They ruin your life. And I'm not laughing jokingly, it's just the facts of it. These things are horrible. Give me a few minutes and I'm gonna get up here away from the highway, and then I'll film and show you guys where we're going. There's a lot of water out here. There's just an incredible amount of wild pigs, a lot of swamp, and a few snakes. There's not as many snakes as what should be here, but that's due to the wild pigs. They do eat snakes. They suck them up. Stand by a few minutes and I'm gonna stop recording until we get a little further down the trail. And we'll be right back. It's really thick in here. A lot of wild pig activity. There's some old rooting on the ground from the pigs. Guys, before we get into it, I've received a couple of emails from just the people that don't like anybody who shares any truth. And basically I was being chewed out because you cannot incorporate God and Bigfoot in the same setting, and that's funny. And the way it was written to me, I should not be doing videos and glorifying the Lord in any way while speaking on Bigfoot. Well, we're going to do a Bigfoot encounter today, a Sasquatch encounter. I don't like the term Bigfoot. It sounds really goofy. And if you've ever seen one up close, you'll realize their feet fit their body. They're not abnormal for their size. So I feel kind of embarrassed when I say Bigfoot. I do say it. If it's written in an email that's sent to me, then absolutely I will read what was written, with the exception of the foul words. But anyhow, we're going to start this video right now. We will be going into the encounter when I get up here a little further in a better setting without the highway noise. But I wanted to get this out of the way now for the writer of that email, not the encounter, but the one chewing me out for using God in our emails. And this is Proverbs 16. And I'm only going to read a couple of verses, starting with verse 1. Go ahead and make all the plans you want, but it's the Lord who will ultimately direct your steps. We're all in love with our own opinions, convinced they're correct, but the Lord is in the midst of us, testing and probing our every motive. Before you do anything, put your trust totally in God and not in yourself. Then every plan you make will succeed. The Lord works everything together to accomplish His person. Even the wicked are included in His plans. He sets them aside for the day of disaster. Yahweh detests all the proud of heart, for pride attracts His punishment. And you can count on that. Amen. Alright guys, let's go. I just wanted to get that out. God will always be in the videos. In mine anyhow. I am being eaten by yellow flies, and I just went to grab my bug spray and it blew out of my pocket. So, this is an old trail, an old ATV trail. They do log this area. Chris has been out here. He's put in several hours in checking it. This is our lease. But he is over the lease, so if anything happens or anybody does anything illegal, Chris will ultimately be the one that gets in trouble. And so he's out here, he's checking, making sure there's no nothing illegal, nothing's going to get us in trouble, and to get a feel for this lease. And I'm going to walk around a bit and show you guys some of the area. It's very wet out here, but I just want to get away from the highway. I got yellow flies biting me, doggone it. Now, I have no bug spray. I may have to ride down to the corner store and get some more. I wear carpenter pants, and the little side pockets on the legs is where I had the bug spray, the tick repellent. It was just up here a couple days ago, and that tree is dead, but it's fallen across the road. There's a chain. I don't know if you guys can see it. This tree right here, there's a chain wrapped up in it, and then the little stobby tree next to it is grown into the tree. We're not allowed to do that out here because this land belongs to the paper company. Did you see how wet everything is? A lot of water. Oh, these yellow flies irritate me. And this stuff here is nasty, nasty, nasty. We walked through all this mess the other day. This encounter was sent in to us by one of our own, our sister Elizabeth. She's part of our family here. And I want to thank you, Elizabeth, for sending this encounter to me. And it goes back when they were young, her and her family. But it's the type of encounter that happens when you least expect it. I gotta get my sunglasses off. It's really it's just creepy out here, and I don't want to get in a bad situation. I can't see like yellow jackets or, well, like that right there. There's bones to a snake, vertebrae. I don't want to run into a live one. I got snake boots on, but it's still very scary. See where the pigs have rooted, where all this is rooted up right here. Guys, I'm gonna stop the video. I think I've got it on wide, the screen, the lens, and it causes a curve effect on the sides, and I don't care for it. You can see a lot more in the wide setting, but your vision gets distorted. Stand by just a second, let me fix this. Okay, it is not on the wide setting like I thought. Oh, I have got a bad leak right on top of my boot. Shoot. This mud and this water is so soft and deep. Oh, lordy. The pigs rooted up. You guys can see, I don't know if you can make it out, that's a game trail right here. And that's from the pigs. And I think, dadgum, them ducks scared the tar out of me. And now he's laughing. Gee whiz. There's a trail, where is it? Right back there. Oh, my heart's pounding. I heard something moving in the water back over here. And I was just trying to point out the game trail when they took off. So my ears were kind of tuned in on the little splashing sound. Whew, they scared the fire out of me. See where the pigs have rooted all this up in here? Well, I'm in the light right there. This whole area here has been torn up by the pigs. Chris and I walked back into there, but the water gets quite deep. I wish I could get back past that stuff. My feet are gonna be so wet. But that's right. My snake boots, both pairs, are leaking horribly bad. Chris seen a gator out here yesterday. Ooh, that's deep. The reason I was saying that, I just seen what looked like a gator path going through this this slime, this algae on top. I don't want to run into a gator. Them ducks came from that little water hole right there. That little pocket. I'm gonna go right back here. Alright, you see this right here? The way the slime is pulled? It turns and it goes right through there. That, I believe, is from a gator. Ooh, that's deep. This almost went over my boot. And Chris and I came up, and that's the marker that we put up. Oh, I got water coming in the top of my boot. Because it's deeper toward the middle right here. There's a game trail. If you guys can see it right there. It goes under. Maybe, yeah, I can get through right here. Yeah, Chris has been doing a lot of walking back here. And he hasn't seen anything to suggest the big guys are out here. But he didn't go very far either. This is so eerie in here. When we came out yesterday or day before, Chris and I both came out here. And in one spot, we both had the sensation of being watched. I don't know if you can see this slick spot on this tree right here. That's from pigs, wild pigs rubbing on it. The oil's in their skin. When they pass through that little game trail, the oils rub off of the tree. But we did find this pine. You see the rub mark on that pine tree. And then that one. That's from wild pigs. And there's another one right there. And we hit a dead end right at the back of the water right there as far as we could go. It's extremely dense back there. We tried to go through that way. There's water over there too, but the water's really deep. We need waders to get into that mess. Oh, these bugs are eating me up. We're gonna get set up over here. We're gonna do this encounter. And then we're gonna do a walk around and I'll show you some of the area out here. Let me get the camera set up. Stand by. Alright guys, back behind me here yesterday, this is where we were at. We're right in that little clearing where the water goes back in the woods there. And both of us got a very unnerving feeling of being watched. I'm a little spooked right now. I don't have that feeling that I'm being watched, but just knowing that we had it yesterday is mentally, I think my brain is just convincing me that I'm having the feeling. So I've got it set where I can see the screen, and it's very small, but hopefully if something moves back there, I'll see it. So you guys keep an eye behind me, especially that area right there. That's where the feelings were coming from us yesterday. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up this encounter and just imagine being in the shoes of our sister Elizabeth and her family during this time. I mean, it's spooky. These encounters, every one are fascinating. Some of them are absolutely horrifying. And this one is one of them that I could see, if it happened to me, I would have nightmares over it. But I'm just going to read you the whole email. You see which way it's going to be easier. I forgot my glasses again. Please forgive me. So I may mess up a little bit. Get it zoomed in as big as I can get it. All right. Here we go. And I'll just start at the top. Elizabeth is part of our family here. And God bless her for sharing this with us. And she says, Dear Mr. Donnie, I found your YouTube through a friend. I want to tell you my story, and I want you to share it. I appreciate that you're a Christian man who values the power of prayer and the grace of God. And please call me by my first name only. Thank you. In 1974, I was 7 years old. I went with my grandma, my mama, and brother to dump our trash. Back then, there was no pickups at our home, so we drove to the local dump site in a place called Lloyd, Florida. We arrived at the site in early afternoon. It was late summer. We began throwing away our trash into the semi-sized roll-off dumpster. As we were finishing up, we noticed someone had put out boxes of clothes. We were poor, so that was like a Christmas present to us. We started hearing noises and movement from the tree line behind the site. We stopped, looked, and listened, but couldn't see anything. So we started loading the boxes of clothes into the trunk of the car. At this point, we heard more movement but saw nothing again. We continued loading things, and it was then that this creature burst out of the woods, charging at us, growling and howling. It was at least 8 feet in height and 600 plus pounds. It was covered in reddish brown hair, and the body was like a bodybuilder with a massive chest, smaller waist, muscular legs. Hands and feet were like us, but hairy. Amber-colored eyes, bared teeth that looked like ours, but on a size much bigger, like a horse. As we turned to run, this creature had already covered about 30 to 40 feet in seconds. I estimated the dump site being about 80 to 100 feet deep from the edge of the road to the tree line. Somehow we managed to make it into my grandma's car, and she floored it out of there. As I looked out the rear window, this thing was watching us go, and we never went back there again because my dad took over the duty of trash hauling. I'll be 54 this year, and I've never gotten over the terror of that day. I do not go into any woods for any reason, ever. I don't even feel comfortable having to pull over on the side of the road near the woods. It wasn't until I heard several of your stories that you share that I came to realize why this creature had human-like features, just much bigger. The caveman description is accurate because it was more like us than an ape. Human nose and teeth, hands and feet, but fully covered in hair. I truly thought we were all going to die that day. The look of pure hatred in this creature's face, it was so angry. It was as if evil were a physical being. It took me many, many years to tell this story to anyone. My mama and grandma have passed on, and my brother was severely burned, and the medicine they gave him caused him a lot of memory loss. So I am the last one left to tell the truth. I know in my heart that people need to know about Bigfoot. They need to know how terrifyingly real this creature is. They need to hear these stories so they can be cautious and alert and prepared. I believe you send that message loud and clear. Just as a final note, my brother is 6'4", 350 pounds. A big, strong man. However, just prior to my mama's passing, we talked about the creature one last time. To quote her, when looking at my brother, she said, "Son, that thing was way, way, way bigger than you are." Thank you, Mr. Donnie. I pray that God protects you and blesses you in all that you do. Oh, God bless you, Miss Elizabeth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough, and praise the Lord that you guys weren't harmed by these creatures. Something like that, you know, imagine if you were in that situation with your family, your grandmother, your mother, your brother, and taking care of a duty that you have to do every week, every 2 weeks, and having one of these things come out and charge you like that. I have seen them firsthand. I've had a very close encounter with one, and it never gets easy. For me, when I see one of these things, time stops. Everything in my brain shuts down and starts running backwards. I get filled with confusion, have nightmares. It really messes me up. And Miss Elizabeth, she's been living with this for a long time. And for her mother, her grandmother, her brother, and herself to go through this, the memory that leaves behind is a scar that never goes away. And it's unfortunate, but thank God that she came forward to share this story. And any of you, and those that already have, thank you greatly. And not just for sharing them here, but the other channels that you guys choose to share them on. Thank you. We got to get the word out. If you've had an encounter, you don't have to share it here. If you have an encounter and would like to share it on another platform and you don't know where, reach out to me, email me. I will be more than happy to guide you to a few good people, really good people that will get that encounter out. It's not the point in who you share it with, it's the point that you do share it. You can remain anonymous, you don't have to give your name, and me personally, I highly recommend that nobody uses their last name. Just use your first name only. If there's any chance at all and repercussions from your job, your career, your neighborhood, your family, then don't give those details. And I'll never share anybody's address. If they put it in the email and they want it shared, I'm not going to share it. And I'm just giving you that up front. If you are diehard and determined to get your address out on YouTube about an encounter you had, I'll be more than happy to share your encounter. I will not share your address. That is not happening. There's several bad people in the Sasquatch community, the Bigfoot community. and they will wreak havoc on your life if they find where you live. If you're having activity at your home and you give your address, your days of rest are over. They'll be at your house all hours of the night, and a lot of these people, they have no coof to them. They'll show up 3 in the morning beating on your doors, knocking on your windows, and I don't wish that on anybody. Nobody deserves that. No matter how bad or crooked a person may be, they don't deserve that. You know, we need to get along and coincide with one another, you know, and the Bible tells us, God says, love your enemy, love everyone. And when you show up at somebody's house at 3 in the morning beating on the doors and windows because you want to locate a Bigfoot that person has encountered or seen on their property, that's not showing love to that person. That causes a lot of issues. So please, if you share your encounter, if you share it on another channel, wherever you choose to share it, don't give your last name and don't give your address. Don't give any details that someone could find your address. A neighboring person that knows the area, when you start telling road names and giving a brief description, you're on John Smith Road, halfway down it. Well, people that live in that neighborhood, if John Smith Road only has 3 houses on it and halfway down is a house, they're going to know where you're at, and there's a chance things could get bad for you. So just think about that, take it into consideration. And if you do share an encounter, regardless of where you share it, just try to protect yourself. I hate it for people that are dealing with those groups, and there's several groups of people that they don't care what harm they bring to the person who's had the encounter. Their goal is to catch a Sasquatch on video. Nothing else matters, and that should be at the bottom of the list. I don't come out here looking for them. I do not want to see one. I'd love to get one on camera, but off at a distance from my car when he's on the other side of a busy interstate. You know something, I don't want to run into one out here. It's not worth it. I don't want to get him on camera that bad. I come out here because I love the outdoors. I love nature. I love everything around me. And when I do see signs, the habituation signs, the structures, the bent trees, the footprints, that type of thing, I do document it, and I do share that here with you guys. And the reason I do that is so that people will know what to look for when they're out in the field, when they're out in the woods. I'm going to scoot over a little bit. I'm sure that was my eyes playing tricks on me, but I thought I seen movement up there. There's a lot of pigs here, and I don't want a pig to come up, catch me by surprise, so I can put this tree between me and him. Yeah, you guys just be careful. If you end up sharing an encounter with anyone, regardless of who it is, just pay attention to what you share. Don't give them any details. And usually the people that I've talked to personally, and there's been several that's had encounters they've shared with me, but they haven't gotten to the point that they want to share it on YouTube. And I understand that. It took me a long time, but I finally got tired of the ridicule and just the nonsense from non-believers. And I came forward and I gave my name and everything. And I caught a little flack from it, but I don't care. The Lord will protect me. I will not give my address. I do not give my home. But the people I've talked to that haven't made their mind up to share their encounter for everyone yet, I try to lead them by telling them, if you're going to share details, give the county where you live or the parish, but don't give the area, the exact area. Because some of these people are really, really smart, super intelligent, and if they got an area, they can pinpoint you through hacking or whatever the means may be. They can find you, and just make it a little harder on them. If you want to tell the area, just tell them the county. it's just to protect you guys. You know, y'all are part of my family here. I love each and every one of you, and it would just destroy me if something happened to any one of you over sharing an encounter. I don't even want to think about that. But Miss Elizabeth, thank you so much for sharing that. And I couldn't imagine being in your shoes. I couldn't imagine being there. And I'm sure that you've had nightmares, probably hundreds of them over that. And from my encounter, I see movement in the bush, and it could be just a leaf, a small bush moving in the wind, and my heart would sink. It would just about stop. It scared me so bad, and even now I see movement and it still scares me. And if I'm out here hunting and we're on the trail of a pack of hogs, and I can hear them, I know they're 50 yards ahead of me, and I can see the bushes moving. When I see the actual pig, the black coloration through the palmettos and through the shrubbery, when I see it move, it scares the tar out of me. And I know it's pigs, I know what it is, but something in my brain will click forward and give me the impression that it's one of these cavemen, these Sasquatch. And 2011 was my bad encounter. That's the one that messed me up, and it still affects me today. And I've been working really hard on forgetting about it, and now I've got to remember it. I have forgotten a lot. I've been tricking my brain to forget about it. And our brother Kerry from Bigfoot Odyssey is wanted me to do his documentary with him, and I love Kerry. He's been really good to us. And I said, sure, I'd be happy to. It's no problem. But now I got to remember, and I've been working on trying to remember the details of it. But what I've been doing, I've been trying. When I would think about what happened that night, in my mind, I would alter what I was seeing, made him look like a big goofy teddy bear and funny looking, and I just forced myself to remember him that way. And now I'm having a hard time remembering what he truly looked like. The smell of his breath, that rotten fermented orange smell, I don't think I'll ever forget that. But now I got to remember it again. But I'm going to. I told Kerry I would, and I'm going to do that. He's helping spread the word and awareness of these creatures, and so I need to do my part. Hey guys, thank you so much. God bless you. Miss Elizabeth, thank you tremendously. We love you, we honor you, and bless you. And I pray that the Lord will provide your path clear and free of all obstruction, including these big guys, these Sasquatch, Bigfoot, cavemen, whatever they are. I pray the Lord will keep them clear out of your path from this day forward. God bless you. We love you, my sister, and we will all be seeing you guys soon. I'm going to close this out. We're going to start another recording, and we're going to go hiking around a little bit and get muddy. So you guys stand by. I got to get the camera set up again.